Alright, let's get back to those. I've been getting some comments. A lot of people like the video. They got the hang of it and they're doing pretty well with pinch harmonics. But for those who have been having trouble with getting them to ring out in certain spots, this video is for you. I'm going to try and help you perfect the pinch harmonic. So I've gotten some comments saying that they're getting a little squeal, but it's not coming out very well. So I'm going to touch up on that. My guess is they might be doing some have a squeal. You can kind of hear it, but it's not coming out. That's because I'm too far back on, let me see if I can adjust my camera here. Too far back in that section for that particular note. For every different note on the guitar, it's kind of like you're having to try and find like the half length or like a third length or something, just something equal that just makes it ring out. So if you're getting something like that, like just the notes coming out and you can't get the squeal out very much, you got to play around with it. So that's a nice little subtle warm one, I guess you could say. If you move back, that's a nice little ringy one. So for that particular note, which is the 2nd fret on the G string, I'm tuned to drop, or D standard I should say, so that would be on the F string. There's only 3 of them here that sound good. One there, a little bit right there, a little higher, and you got this weird high one. It's kind of a weird sounding little scale, I guess. But to get them to ring out more, you just gotta really just every single note that there is. If you do too far back, I think on any note too far back doesn't let this the other half of this section of the string excuse me, ring out too much, so you don't get that sound. You kind of want something right in the center of the pickups, but it could depend on any guitar that you're playing. That's a 4th fret on the G string. It's in D standard. So you could get those probably to pop out more, but right now I'm kind of just like on a lead tone, like, so I don't have much distortion on there. So let's see if we can bring them out with distortion. They'll come out a little more with more distortion. So tip number 2 is to go ahead and just maybe bump up some distortion, but also clean it up. You don't want to put too much distortion unless you're just going for like a crazy heavy sound. Which I personally never like because it's just too fuzzy and crunchy and just doesn't come through very well. So put your drive up pretty good if you have a nice processor. Maybe do like the gain a little bit. I mean the gate, just have that, you know, tame it a little bit, and then mainly control a lot of it with your master, because once you start raising your master and stuff, then you really get your amp cooking, and that's what gives you the good sound. So. So with more distortion, you can actually get a pretty good sound over a pickup or you know, further back on the string. I think I have the gate pretty high on this one. So yeah, I mean that's all I could provide as far as the tip. And just mess around with it. You can get pinch harmonics to sound like, I don't know, anything you pretty much want, as long as you know where to go on the fretboard and where to hit them. So if I hit them more closer to my neck pickup, you're gonna get basically like, it almost sounds just like the same note you're playing, but like a low octave of it, a low higher octave of it. So you can follow it as long as you stay kind of forward on the string, but if you want to go higher, so you gotta just kind of mess around with it. And as far as where I'm picking, let's do this again. I got like about that much. Whenever I go to pinch harmonic, I got about, let me see if I can get me focused, not the freaking guitar. Anyway, I got about that much of my pick. Boom, I roll my thumb over. Because a pinch harmonic is like I was saying before in the last video, is that it's like a tap harmonic. Right there. So you're doing that, but you're doing it in one motion. So when you're doing it, roll your thumb in on your pick, so there's very little pick, and then you're gonna hit with your thumb. Pull it away quick. Essentially, you're just using the pick to get the note to start vibrating, and then you're basically tap harmonicking it right away with your thumb. And you can get them clean. Don't worry if it's like dirty like that just yet. I mean, you guys are still practicing, so eventually you'll find that perfect hit where you know and you feel that you're doing it, but you can hardly even feel your thumb doing the work. It just feels like you're picking hard or something. So go ahead and keep practicing that. 2 tips, just play around with where your hand is, depending on whatever note and how high you are, because you're trying to, do this length thing with your strings to get it to ring out. I'm not really sure exactly what the lengths are, but all I know is it sounds good when you mess around and you get used to how to play it. Like, so when you learn how to octave stuff, you can play stuff in pinch harmonic form because you know where to hit them. So just play around with it. That's my little follow-up on pinch harmonics. If you have any other questions on anything else giving you trouble, let me know, and I'll go ahead and try and make another video on how to give some more tips, I guess. Maybe it'll have to be with something about your pickups. Maybe some people's pickups out there aren't high output enough to get that to ring out. So that's it, guys. If you guys want to keep sticking around and watching, my next video is going to be about tap harmonics. They sound like this. It's basically like you're hitting the octave of the note and playing it. So, yeah. Have a good one.